Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. My name is Jack Hawkin, and I'm a candidate for county commissioner in the same district as Les, second district. So, Les and I are friends. We've lived in the Starlight area, most of all our lives and everything. And to all start off with, I originally filed for the county council seat. I was originally on the council from 2007 to 2010, and I originally filed to run in that race. Everything. After I filed, I got calls from many friends and everything, encouraging me to run for commissioners. And I do not mean this as anything against our present commissioners. They have done a wonderful job and everything. But the main purpose I was asked to run is they want to see a little more transparency in the commissioners board. They want to feel like that they had a better connection from the public to the commissioners board. And so, I made a decision after about 3 days to withdraw from the county council race and run for county commissioner. I had previously run for county commissioner 4 years ago when my hometown was last. Like I said, I served on the county council from 2007 to 2010. And that's when times I started getting rough. Revenues kept deteriorating continually over those years and everything. Back in 2007, 2008, we were collecting about 93 to 94% of our property taxes we were collecting. Toward the end of 2010, when I was on there, and even in recent years, now it's dropped down to about 83 to 84%. It's obvious we're collecting a lot less money in property taxes. And like Les pointed out too, all the revenues are dropping and everything. So we've got to get into a crunch mode. We've got to do everything we can to cut spending. I don't think our public can take much more tax increases. And nobody wants to increase taxes. These guys don't want to increase taxes. Your county council doesn't want to increase taxes. And nobody really wants to do that. But one of these days we may come to that alternative, and I hope we don't. So my goal is to look at every penny that's spent in the county. We've got to find a way of everything. Your two biggest budgets, like Les alluded to, is of course the sheriff's budget and the commissioner's budget. Of course, they're the main budgets. They're the ones who oversee everything they do. The sheriff's budget has everything to do with the safety and protection of our county residents and everything. The commissioner's budget has everything to do with making sure everything is operating for the safety of our residents. And we have to make sure that that's maintained. And we have to do it in the most economical way possible and the most thrifty way possible. First thing is our roads. We have a lot of roads in Clark County. We have over 540 miles of roads right now, okay? And every day that's adding up because we get more and more developments that are being turned over to the county. So that's increasing everything. We have 11 bridges right now that are in dire need of repair. We've got to take care of our bridges because, your kids, your grandkids, those school buses cross those bridges. Commuters, people going to work. So we've got 11 bridges that are in horrible shape. And then we're going to have to prepare ourselves for this flux of traffic that's going to be coming in from the bridges when they're completed. Old Salem Road, that's going to be the main thoroughfare for people getting into River Ridge and getting into the eastern parts and this area of South County and everything. So we got to be prepared for that too. At the bridges groundbreaking ceremony, the head guy, I don't know what he's told, yeah, he was a big shot, okay? Federal Highway Department executive or whatever his name was, about that long and everything. He explained how there are going to be many millions of dollars released to different states for improvements and everything. What we're going to have to do, we're going to have to be like hound dogs up there at the State Department, up there at NDOT. And I know these guys work with these guys every day and everything, making sure that we get every penny we can out of those people. We are the second fastest growing county in Indiana, okay? We need to make sure that we grab every federal dollar we can get and everything. I forget how many billions he talked about that was going to be available, and it's a lot, but we got to have somebody up there constantly going after that. So that's one of my goals. I spoke with the lady at Seymour NDOT this week, and I also spoke with the head of Department of Real Estate at the state level. And that's what they indicated to me. You gotta have somebody there and really go after those dollars. So that's where we can hopefully shore up. And you know, we all know that. We all know that that has to be done, but we've got to be so aggressive about it and everything. Another big thing that we've got going in our county is we've got to make sure we're all working together, okay? We've got to get everybody in that courthouse, and I'm talking, you know, our county council, our commissioners, every department head has got to be in tune with each other. You know, right now this is a political season, and we got Republicans and we got Democrats, you know, and we're all labeled one thing or another. But once this election's over, that's done with. We are going to be public servants for the best, for the good of our people and everything in this county. Politics will be washed away after that, and no matter who wins, we have to keep our eyes focused on that one thing only. So that's my goal. That's what my plan is. Being previously on the county council, I hope to take some of that and try to pull this together and everything and make everyone work together. And we can beat this. We can come out ahead. I'm confident of that. You know, I've lived all over this country and been overseas and everything. I promise you there is no better place to live in Southern Indiana. And I want us to keep it strong, and I want us to be the jewel. We may not be in the middle of the state, but we're going to be the jewel of the state. And you know, we're going to be a county that everybody's going to look to as a county that's going to treat their people right, take care of their citizens, and have the best infrastructure and the best job growth area in all of Southern Indiana. And I hope that, you know, we can work together to do that. Rick and I talked about we're going to have an employee forum set up, you know, that we would have employees from each department come, you know, meet with us on a regular basis and find out what their concerns are, find out what their needs are and everything, rather than finding out about it after it already happens and everything. I'm going to set up an accountability group, people that I know in the community, business people, hardworking people, and everything, that I'm going to meet with on a regular basis and hear what they think, and what they need, and what their concerns are. And that's part of being transparent and being a commissioner that is only concerned about the citizens of this county. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Actually, Jack, I do, and I don't know if this pertains to you all or not. Sheriff Joe, Maricopa County in Arizona. Okay.
We got a lot of headlines. Yeah.
Why don't we have a system where our inmates, I know they go out and they pick up a little bit of garbage and they mow a little bit, but why do we not utilize the people that are incarcerated and they're playing basketball or watching TV or whatever they're doing, and actually, I mean, I would go so far as saying, you know, why can't they live in camps? Why do we have to have, I mean, they are incarcerated for a reason. Is it a state level that we have to comply with, or, you know, I mean, I know we always have an inmate issue, you know, but, you know, it seems like our district needs so much help, and we have a workable amount of people there. Why can't we utilize that?
Well, I'm not the sheriff, so I can't answer all them questions.
Okay.
But I know that when I was on the council, I learned a lot that there are a lot more inmates out there working that you don't realize.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever worked the polls? Have you ever worked the polls?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you ever brought your stuff back in here to the county office? Those people that receive that are inmates, or workers, or inmates and everything. So they're put to work there and everything like that. And I know this from just talking to the sheriff, Rod, that lots of times the Department of Corrections tells, you know, what the sheriffs can and can't do with their inmates and everything, you know. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could put them out there.
We worked a lot of them during the tornado.
Yeah, I know they worked a lot during that and everything, so maybe there is more we can do there. We'll just have to see if that's a possibility.
Okay.
They do a community work release program, but I, for one, am happy that we don't do what Joe does in Arizona, because he's cost his state a lot of money.
Yeah, and you know, and some of these criminals, I hate to call them all criminals, but some of these people aren't. They're just, they do something wrong one time, they're in there. But we do have people in there that, you know what, if something happened one time, first, you know, what if somebody was working in the Franklin Neighborhood Association one day, and he got in and broke into somebody's house. And so they have to be very cautious of what they do.
Right, and I'm sure it takes more manpower in order to, you know, supervise the situation.
And plus
but-
too, the more inmates you put out there working, the more guys it takes to oversee them.
Exactly.
And the sheriff's budget is stressed to the max as it is. And so, you know, you can't put one guy overseeing 50 people.
Exactly.
So, and there again, that's really a good question for Sheriff Rod and everything. And it'll be a great question in 2 more years.
Try to
when we
bring
have
that
more
up again.
sheriff deputies up there. That, anyway, that's true. I mean, there is, we could utilize more, maybe there is a way to utilize more people.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
thank you.